should be adequate to deal with the programs that we have.
Thank you, Minister. I thought with, what is happening in other places in the world that we might, need to focus a little more or look at different areas, different niche markets.
Right. So let me tell you what has happened is that we've done quite a bit of market diversification within the budgetary allocations for last year. Mm-hmm. We're now working hard with South America. And South America is showing great energy. We just came out of Colombia and Panama a couple of days ago, Director and myself. And we have 6 new flights that are coming.
Thank you, Minister.
So,
thank you.
So
I'm not speaking about South America because that's an area that we focus on. Things are happening in other areas in the world, and we ought to look at different areas. But I'll continue in lieu of time. Has this budget for Brand Jamaica, and I'm still on the 17,000 to 13, has this budget for Brand Jamaica marketing strategy been formulated to effectively tap into unconventional markets, considering the current geopolitical climate and emerging global conflicts? And what specific initiatives of partnerships are being implemented to increase Jamaica's visibility and appeal in these new markets?
Right. So I just came out of Berlin last night, which is the largest trade market show in Central and Southern Europe.
Thank you, Minister. You need to invite me
you're leaving out
on some of these trips.
Minister of the world. You're not helping tourism minister of the world. And Jamaica is the best destination in the world.
Madam Chair, thank you for assisting the Minister of Tourism. But I would want to agree with you that destination Jamaica is indeed the best in the world. I would want to agree with that.
No, well, just to guide the member, because she's new to the portfolio, and I quite appreciate that she needs to be guided as best as possible. So member, I'm allowed to say so because of my vintage, if nothing else. So just please, because you remember how helpful I was to you exactly. So just to let you know, yes, that we have India, that is immediately on the horizon. We have an agent in India. We're working through to tap the Indian market. We have Eastern Europe. Yes. We're working with TUI in a very strong partnership to drive Eastern Europe as well as South America.
Thank you.
So
thank you, Minister.
Just to let you know that the new and emerging markets are very much in our horizon.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to know that TUI will not only be taking us, to Jamaica, travelers from England, but they're now moving into India. So I'm excited about that. Sure. Minister, behind every 5-star rating, every glowing review, and every record-breaking tourism arrival number, there is a Jamaican worker, a housekeeper, a bartender, a groundskeeper, a front desk attendant. These are the men and women whose labor sustains this industry, as mine did, whose hospitality defines our brands, and whose
Member Perkins.
Just a little context, please. I'm asking.
You're having too much content with too many questions.
It's not too much.
This
and those who sacrificed on the rights, the billions. I'll wait until you're finished. No, I'll wait.
Giving our latitude
I'll wait. I'll wait. I'm getting to the question.
Member Perkins. Wait, no, Member Perkins. Look here. Member Perkins. Look this way.
All right.
Member Perkins.
Madam Chair, I'm waiting on the member. I can't speak when other people are talking.
Member Perkins.
Member Terrelong. Madam Chair, I have just a few more questions. I'm going to wrap up soon. Just a few more questions, Madam Chair.
You want an advertisement for that?
Madam Chair, I cannot speak in the noise, so I will wait. I am not going to talk when everybody else is talking, so I will wait.
Okay.
As I was saying,
Yeah.
a housekeeper, a bartender,
No, Miss
a
Member
groundskeeper, a
Perkins.
front desk
Member
attendant.
Perkins. Member
These are
Perkins.
the men and women whose labor sustain this
Member
industry.
Perkins. No,
Madam
seriously.
Chair, let
No,
me
no, we're
move to the
listening. We're
question.
listening.
Seriously.
Go ahead.
Let me move to the question.
Yeah.
I have some more questions.
No, ask the question
I
about
have
the
been
workers.
here since 11:30 this morning. I live in Hanover. I too want to go home. But I have a responsibility to represent the people
Member
that work in the
Perkins, just get to
industry
your
that
question
I
now,
represent.
dear. Get to your
So
question.
please, I don't do grandstanding.
No, so
Just allow me.
Member Perkins, we're giving you
Question.
quite a bit of latitude, and Perkins, I'm giving you the latitude. But
Let
I'm
me tell
asking
you.
All right, team, alone.
Dash 13.
So Member Perkins,
13. Are
Member
there
Perkins.
currently, Minister,
Please ask the question.
where
ma'am.
I was going,
Can we get some protection, Chair?
I'm not even going to ask for protection. I'm going to
me
wait.
to protect her.
You must stop.
So Member
Thank
Perkins, I'm trying to give you some latitude, Member Perkins, but I have no idea how many
Minister of
more
Water, why don't
questions
you come down
have.
to Hanover and leave me alone now?
Member
Come down to Hanover and
Perkins.
help us with the water. Are there currently, Minister, I am going to speak now in that lieu of the contract workers and all of that. Are there currently any joint policy?
It's Matthew.
Are there any joint policy, Minister, policy initiatives between your ministry and the Ministry of Labor designed to introduce enforceable protections for workers in the tourism sector? And if not, why not? Next question. Will you commit to working towards mandatory employment standards within tourism?
She said it at the beginning. You're not listening.
If you pay attention when I am listing the page, then you will know exactly where I am. Will the minister commit to working towards mandatory employment standards within tourism?
You have to take a break. You have to take a
I'm not gonna, no, I'm gonna wait. This is a very important question.
Member Perkins, you finish that question? See me end up switch off your mic.
Members,
You're not finished the question?
members, please, members, I'd love to answer.
Can you all turn your mics off, please? Can you all turn your mics off? Members, can you all turn your mics off, please?
I have a question. Can I?
I'm going back to Member Perkins.
Minister, will you commit to working towards mandatory employment standards within tourism sector licensing agreements so that hotels seeking to operate and profit in this country, our country, are required as a condition of that privilege to provide fair contracts, job security, and decent working conditions to the Jamaican people they employ? I'm not done yet.
So member,
Don't respond.
member, this is not an emotional exercise. This is business.
I agree.
And there's something called a labor market arrangement, which responds to two things in my mind: merit and equity. And merit is defined by competence, qualifications, certification, and on the basis of which classification can be had, and then remuneration against classification.
Thank you, Minister.
No.
Thank you.
I need to make that a little clearer for you because what we need to do is to professionalize the tourism industry.
Minister, I understand
because the
you.
industry has been built. No, the industry has been built on
It's not
casual
informal.
labor over the years, and consequently, the difficulty to remunerate has been there. The issue of productivity, and I heard the member from North, yes, mentioning, and correctly so, the difficulty of measuring productivity in our industry as a basis for remuneration. I think we have to get to the point where we understand what this JLP government has been doing in the last 10 years in terms of bringing that level of professionalization to the industry. Madam Chair, it is important because it speaks to the heart of the most important element in the tourism industry, the workers, the people of the industry. And I've been committed to that. And this is why we established the Jamaica Center for Tourism Innovation, which is the only of its kind in the region that goes not only to train, but just listen, but to go into the industry, seek competent workers, and to certify competence so that there can be mobility and portability.
Thank you, Minister. You have said a lot.
Right, members, let me explain something to you. Member Perkins, let me help you. You cannot shut up the minister when he's speaking because you ask your questions in a particular way that is allowed. And what is going to happen to you is anybody who goes off doing their own sectoral debate will get a sectoral response.
Exactly.
And therefore, and therefore, I have been giving a lot of latitude, and I was trying to get your attention. Allow the member now. I was trying to get your attention to gauge how many more questions do you have. No, give me the exact amount. And do they have subparts?
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you for those last three questions to be a lot more succinct.
Yeah.
Instead of the flurry, just get to the question. And then, Minister, in return, I'm going to ask you to succinctly respond.
Yeah.
And again, I'm reminding you, Member Perkins, as you ask, so you shall get.
Yeah.
Madam Chair.
Right.
Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just pay attention to page 17,000. Is the water minister the Minister of Tourism now? Let's pay attention to 17,000 to 12, activity 12502. When examining the budget for the last year, we observed a total of $1,723,109,000 allocated towards several projects under product development. This year, we have seen this figure increase by almost 20% for a total of $2,061,833,000. What is concerning is that a number of the projects listed on the last fiscal year budget are either incomplete or is yet to begin. How do you justify this increase with a carryover of certain incomplete projects? Point of note. The chairman. You know, I didn't drive from this far and cross so many bridges to come for this. Minister, allow me. Point of note, Port Charlotte, redevelopment phase 2, and the Milk River Spa and Bath. Port Charlotte redevelopment phase 2, for which $5 million was allocated, and Milk River Spa and Bath Hotel with an allocation of $50 million shows no significant signs of development. Can you comment on the status of any of the listed projects with focus on the two aforementioned? If your investigation have led you to discover the incompletion of the majority of these projects, what steps will be taken to address this and also ensure this does not repeat itself this year with the increase in budget?
Well, firstly, you would recognize that the budget cycle
She can't read it though.
is represented by members, please. This is a very important question because
Focus on St. Mary.
thank you, members, thank you. The budget cycle is predicated on a cash budget and not an accrual budget. And consequently, you would see that a number of projects that have been started would be repeated in the allocations here for completion. And they are there. Now, the big increase in this is really in relation to the resort maintenance program to ensure that there is a cut in every resort, meaning what shall we call a maintenance program for the verges and general, debushing in the areas that are critical. So that the increase there is to allow for a cut every month. At the moment, we're cutting like once every 2 months or 3 months. So the overgrowth is horrendous and it's terrible for locals and visitors alike. So this will allow us now to have a regular monthly resort maintenance program.
Thank you, Minister. We welcome that. We really want the elegant corridor between Montego Bay and Negril to look like other places in the Caribbean.
And that's what
my
this
final
increase is
question.
about. Yes.
My final question, page 17,000-11. Why is it that you are reducing the expenditure on local supply chain while seeking to market an authentic Jamaican experience?
No, actually, I think what you're seeing there, remember now, this is about increasing the programs around building capacity for locals to be inserted in the value chain of tourism. But that particular line item is one of the items related to this. The other one is a bigger arrangement where the Exim Bank has over $1 billion Jamaican dollars for that purpose to be on lent to small stakeholders to increase their own capacity to produce more and to scale up. Then there's also a provision at the commercial bank, Jamaica National, for on lending again. And it's over $200 million that's there for on lending to transport operators, small transport operators. So that particular line may be reduced because of what is entailed in it. It's more training and development. But the lines that you to look at essentially are the ones that drive the actual on lending process to enable the small players to have capacity to expand their operation and to do more. Yes, that's why it's in phase 2, phase 1.
Who is it? Is it Roy or is it me?
Thank you. Oh. I'm recognized, Chair.
Minister, who do you recognize, Madam Chair?
Minister's mic is not on.
Ministers can't ask other ministers.
Collective responsibility in cabinet.
Have that mic next one.
Member Noel, 2 red can work.
Madam Chair, who do you
One of
recognize?
the red has to be green.
Members,
The chairman wants to see. The chairman wants to
Chair, am I?
Another plus one by this.
Chris did it by 9.
What What activity is that, Chair?
Ask the question. Chair, let's go.
Mine, I'll watch it tomorrow morning.
Chair, am I recognized?
Mine, I'll watch it recorded.
Right.
I'll watch
No,
it
I'm waiting
recorded
on the chair.
tomorrow morning.
Members,
Chair.
Minister,
members, I think
Minister.
two members,
more
are-
than two. Minister, so you have more than two. So this segment, we'll take all the questions and your team will document the questions asked. If there are questions that require any element of research, they will do their research quietly and they will provide the information for you so that you're able to respond very quickly to all the questions. And you can take any question from the batch of questions in responding while efficiently the research is done for those that may need additional information. So first up is Member Shaw from
Thank you very much.
St. Thomas, and then Member Wilson.
members,
Member Newell.
allow us to finish so we
Member
can.
Newell is second, and then Member Cousins third, and then Member Cousins. Member Cousins, didn't you? He's not the spokesperson. And then member, and then no, not Member Perkins, and then Member Miller Benny.
Chairman, can I go ahead?
Yes, you may go ahead. The mic don't recognize. You will be last.
Minister, I pay homage to experience. And I know that you're experiencing the job. I was sent here by the people of Eastern St. Thomas. Minister, the Morant Bay Heritage District. Will this be on a phase basis? I see an allocation here for $20 million.
The $20 million is really for
Minister,
the bath.
no, Minister. So
I'm
is that
sorry.
your only question, Member Shaw?
Sorry.
Is that your only question?
No, I have another question. As it relates to the Bath Fountain Road, Minister, I heard you mention, no, it's not. It's National Works Agency. No. You're talking, Minister, the Parish Council Road, was renovated. For your information, Minister,
Member Montague,
Chair,
Member Montague. Member Montague, allow Member Shaw to complete
it is the road that leads to Bath, the main road.
the main road to Bath.
Yes.
So those are your two questions, Member Shaw.
Another question, there's another question I have.
It's a road to attraction.
The minister will respond to say whether it's a parochial road or not.
Minister, I am aware that don't
Member Shaw,
remind me of
just
the
get
dark
Member Shaw,
ages.
please, just get to the question.
Minister, the licensed beach. I know that a considerable amount of funding was spent on licensed beach. And I just need to find out what is the problem with licensed beach as it stands now.
Turn off. Yours now. No, hold on. Go on. Yes. You're on now?
Thank you.
No, hold on. Turn on again, please. Good. No, don't turn on any bank's member Buchanan. You had questions separate from Member Shaw? I thought it was one mic on, sorry about that. Hold on, I'll acknowledge you and then you turn on.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Minister, I'm very heartened